All right, starting the stream. Just going to check my audio levels. All right, starting the stream. Just going to check. Okay, that looks good. All right, welcome everyone. So today's live stream is going to be about upgrading or updating the documentation for what I call the Autobox. The Autobox is a set of instructions that I created. It's on GitHub. I kind of sign in here. On the passkey. Nope. Mute the microphone for a second here. All right, forget that. I will just GitHub. There it is. All right, so Project Nerd is... So the idea is that I'm going to create a bunch of instruction sets for virtual machines on to do things like eventually I'll do like time series databases for like Grafana and stuff. But the first one is the Autobox. So it's an all-in-one automation landing platform. So I need to fix that. So we're just updating the instructions, landing, so labbing. I've got it set up here. So if I go into here, then stage the changes, fixed typo, commit. It should fix that here. Oh yeah, sync changes. It's also just help practicing with things. There it is, fixed. Practicing with things like GitHub and Git in general. So the first one is Autobox that I created. And basically this builds a virtual machine. We're using Alma Linux, but I'm going to switch this to Debian. And it's also something called Code Server, which is, it's Visual Studio Code, VS Code running as a web app on that Linux system. So you can edit the files locally, run the files locally, etc. And it's a web app. So it's fantastic. It's one of my favorite tools. Ansible, open source version. We're probably going to have to do some tweaks about version 2.19. Container Lab and see what the update is to that and see if I need to do anything. So this has been around for a little while. When's the last time I edited this? Probably been a couple months. So just get it updated with the newest versions of everything. So first of all, we're gonna move this to Debian, and the reason why I'm moving this to Debian is I don't like the idea of having a Linux distribution that is primarily influenced by a private company. Now, I used to not care. But then Red Hat did all its stuff with CentOS Linux. They got rid of it, and then they tried to gaslight everyone to think, oh, it was never for production, CentOS Linux, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And basically, they just created a whole lot of work. And what ended up happening is after they pulled the source code off of GitHub, and different companies had different ways to try to like make basically a CentOS Linux replacement. And so basically we're kind of back where we started with when there was essentially a CentOS Linux. It's Alma Linux in this case. And it was just a lot of work. So I don't like the fact that they've got that they're doing this, and so Alma Linux is great, and it's not part of Red Hat, but it's based off Red Hat. So I want to move away from that. And I was doing Ubuntu for a little while, and it worked okay, but then it was like, well, they can do the same thing. Canonical could do the same thing. So at least Debian is ostensibly, it's a community-based distribution versus a corporate-based distribution, which I don't have a problem with corporations generally. Well, from a general basis, but lately companies have been in IT they've been very happy to extract the value from their customers in spite of their customers. So we've seen that with Broadcom and what they did with VMware. So I just want to move away from that. So we're going to go to Debian. And I've done some Debian instructions here. And it's been a few months, like 6, 9 months, 12. Yeah, Debian did that. It's about 10 months ago. So let's go ahead and just move over. We're going to move this entirely to Debian. So let's go to debian.org, get their latest, download the operating system. I don't like that button. Did I go to the right place? My Debian, yeah, looks like I went to the right place. I also don't like net installs. I want like download mirrors. That was weird. Okay. United States. I'm on the West Coast. Let's go to Berkeley. 13330. So it looks like we'll do AMD 64. ISO DVD. 3.7 gigs. That's fine. We'll do this one. So I'm going to copy this. Copy link address. Do I want to? All right. So let's go for the instructions. I'm going to rename this to README to install Alma 10. Make a new README file. Paste that. We'll just change everything over. So Linux VM, this will be Debian 13 in this case. I feel bad because I mean I really appreciate the work that the Alma Linux people did in making and fixing that particular problem that Red Hat created. But I just don't want to. I just want to move away from Red Hat. That's my big thing there. So code server, Ansible, Container Lab. Okay, so 4 vCPUs, 16 gig of RAM. Boy, RAM got expensive. Since the last time I did anything like this, the RAM prices, I was like, oh, because I've got my hypervisor has 96 gigs of RAM, and I'm like, well, what would it cost me to put in? I need to buy 2 32 gig sticks to fit in that server, and I looked it up, and it was like $600. Like, yeah, what is? It's only DDR4 too, so DDR4, 64 gigabyte kit. What are you looking at now? Yeah, so this was, I think, like was $150 at one point. So this would be 2 32 gig sticks. Yeah, so that would bring me up to, that's what it would cost to get me to freaking, I wonder what the 32 gig sticks are, because that's what I got. I could sell them for like $200. But yeah, it's crazy now. Thank you, AI, for ruining something else. All right, so yeah, I'd gotten it down to 4 GPUs, so I'm just gonna say my environment, I was able to run comfortably the leaf spine topology shown. Once utilization was relatively low. Your mileage may vary, of course. So I've got my hypervisor. Whenever I build one of these, I do 4 vCPUs and 16 gigs of RAM and 60 gigabytes of storage, and that seems to be working just fine. So while you can use just about any Linux distribution, let me make this bigger. Can I zoom in? Yeah. I'll be 50 this year, so my vision is not what it used to be. So with my environment, I can use to any distribution you like. I'm using Debian here, Debian 13 here. I think that they came back. Did they come back with a free version of free ESXi? It looks like they came back with a free version. It's only vSphere 8 though. It's not vSphere 9. Unlimited VM, up to 2 physical CPUs per host, 8 virtual CPUs per machine. Oh, that's kind of a bummer. Yeah, don't run it. I'll just get rid of that. It's just no longer true. Download. All right, so I got to tell them where to get the image from. So I want this repeatable as best I can. Yeah, so tell me to get the current version. Download the current version. Debian 13 here. We install instructions. All right, what do we need to do? So I need to upload this into here. So in my Proxmox and my, where is it, storage? I forget where this goes. It's not SDN, it's not permissions. Where the heck? Where do I put the images? I haven't been using Proxmox lately, so I kind of forget where everything goes. Oh, here. Ah, here it is. Okay. Found the image, and then I just upload to the ISO images. Select image, Debian. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's not the right size. I wanted the DVD, not the net install. I mean, for sure it works fine, but I'm gonna grab myself some more tea. I'll be right back. All right. Upload. Select file, the Debian 13 DVD. I don't have as much experience with Debian, but I really like it for a good general purpose. I'm liking it so far, at least, for a general purpose operating system. All right, then we're going to create a VM. And this will be, we're going to call this Autobox Deb 13.3. And we'll put it on the volume 2. We'll use Debian 13.3. That's fine. For disk, we'll do 60 gigs. We'll make sure it's on volume 2. For CPU, we'll do 4 cores. And we'll do host. I don't know why it just defaults to x86 version 2. There's a bunch of problems with it. Generally, they don't like it. And we'll do 16.384 for memory, so 16 gigs. We'll put it on the, I think that's where it goes. And then we'll finish that. I'm going to have to fix the, we'll go ahead and start this. I might have to fix the network. I can't remember if that's the right network. So console here. Let's pop this out here. We'll do the regular install. Let's do the graphical install. So English, United States, American English. My thing back here is not working too well. Let me check my filters. Chroma key. Do green. Well, that didn't work. Custom color. See if that did any better. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. Okay. Okay, so I'm on the Run network. I need to label these better. So where's my hardware, my network? I'm just going to slide it on over to that one. Continue. Retry network automation or network configuration. I've got DHCP set up. There it is. Autobox deb 13.3. Continue. Domain name. The domain I own. Password. So we're in specific time zone, Pacific time zone. Excuse me. Partitioning disks. Starting up the partitioner. So use the entire disk. Just one disk, 64 gigs. I haven't found any real need to change that, so we'll just do that. Partition disks. Right, change to disks, yes. Do you wish to scan more media? Nope, we're good. Use the network mirror. Sure. United States. That'll work. No proxy. Work. System A anonymously supplied distribution developers with statistics. Red Hat does this a ton. I'm not going to participate in the survey. Red Hat just says yes, and then you have to opt out, or they automatically select. We're not doing a desktop environment. We are doing an SSH server, and we will do standard utilities there. Yeah, we're not doing desktop. You can if you want, but it's a VM. So I'll probably do a different video where I walk through so I think a lot of network administrators can install this on their own. They're experienced enough with Linux to do it on their own, but there's probably some that are not. And the whole point of this is to be helpful and make it as easy as possible. So I'll have a separate video guiding them through this again, because I think I've got one up there. Install Grub, the bootloader, enter. Let's select this. Let's select that. And finish the installation. Should take a few minutes. All right, continue. It'll reboot. I think one of the things I have to do with this is if I do like pip3 install Ansible core, or pip3 install Ansible. Oh yeah, pip3 is not installed. Apt install pip3 sudo. Oh, sudo's not installed. Crap. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. How is that not installed? Oh, man, this is gonna be annoying. Oh. All right, why are you like this? Why are you like this, Debian? Why is Debian? Why is? So let's do. Why does Debian not install sudo? Apparently, it's a thing. If you specify a root password during installation, sudo is not installed. Well, that's stupid. So how do you install it and get you in the sudo's file? Supposed to su to root like an asshole? It's not 1998 anymore. All right, so pretty simple fix. According to this wiki here. So I already did the installation, so add user Tony sudo. Oh, is add user not? Jeez. Oh, it's already in there. Yeah, probably just didn't have access to it. Tony sudo. Tony's not in the sudo's file. Log out, log back again. There we go. All right, pip. So that's going to be a thing. So we're going to put this in the list. Install root password. The installer doesn't install sudo for some dumb reason. I'm not going to say that. You'll want to install it to use Container Lab and Docker, etc. Log in as the regular user. So switch user su. So log out is important. All right. We need to do sudo update. Sudo apt update. Yes, I should not have done that. Okay, all packages update. Sudo apt upgrade. Okay, cool. So with the latest version, we don't need to install L repo. I have this script here. It's my IP address. 140. I want SSH putty. Accept. I really want to go through all this trouble. Starting to have my doubts. So Vim's not even installed. That's better. All right, let's see if this works. So on code server. There's a bunch of other stuff it was supposed to do. Is this a bash shell? No, it's a shell script. that. Supposed to ask for a password. Yeah, I was supposed to do this. Maybe we just have this sleep 3 seconds. There's a wait. Oh, let's sleep. Let's try running that script again. Paste. How do I get this in here? What the heck? I can't paste it in here. Why not? Can I get to... Looks like it's working. No password though. That's what I'm trying to set. Why can't I paste into... Am I gonna have to use Pico or Nano? This is why I do this kind of stuff. There we go. Oh, it didn't. Illegal read, that's why. Read option. Read password. Shell. Maybe it's a different version of shell. Read a command. See if AI can... Read-S. It's supposed to. So read-S basically says don't echo. Let's try AI mode. What is going on here? Let's make this bigger so we can read it. Again, my old eyes. So read illegal option -s. Oh, did I? Yeah, it's probably because I did new shell. That's okay. So shell set password. Oh, didn't like it. So it did the shebang. Shebang didn't do it. Illegal option -s. It's a different version of shell. It's shell. I try to keep it to shell just because it's like the simplest. Maybe it's bash. Oh, yeah, maybe it's a bash shell. That's probably it. I probably wrote it thinking it was a bash script, and then but because I did dash. Okay. All right. So set the password. It's 2123. All right. So let's try this again. Yeah, insert visual. What's going on here? There's something in something that's not allowing me to paste into this. So let's try nano. Where's it? Delete line. Control K. Okay, I don't have Docker instructions in here yet. Okay. All right, I think that's enough for now.